You're watching QTV broadcasting from the Gambia, and this is the news with me, Jenna Bosonko. Our top stories. RFH hands over ambulances to Health Ministry. IEC suspends the National Convention Party. Halifa Saleh replies to ex-captain Mamat Ocham. TRRC commissioners visit Mile 2 prison. Those are our top stories, and now the news in detail. Stay with us. Riders for Health has handed over 10 ambulances to the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The donation was done through the President of the Gambia, President Adama Barrow, at the State House in Banjul on Friday morning. Aliou Cisse reports.
Riders for Health is an international and not-for-profit body working to improve the capacity and efficiency of healthcare delivery platforms in Africa. The donation of the 10 tricycle ambulances and 5 trekking vehicles coincided with the 30th anniversary since the coming into being of the Riders for Health. The ambulances are meant for what is described as carefully chosen communities across the country. In receiving the keys to the donated ambulances, President Barrow thanks Riders for Health for the continued support of the country's health sector. President Barrow has said that 2019 will be a turning point for the country. This donation is perhaps the beginning of his ascension. Improving the health sector, Barrow went on, is one of the key priority areas of his government.
Today marks another important step in strengthening the partnership with Riders for Health as we witness the handing over of this fleet of ambulances and trekking vehicles under the Transport Asset Agreement. In the past 2 years, Riders for Health provided 20 ambulances and 14 service vehicles for healthcare and provision services. The 10 ambulances presented today will without doubt further help to facilitate services to save lives, especially of mothers and babies in emergency cases.
Modlami Jaite, Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, said the donation follows numerous support extended to the ministry by the donor. PS Jaite is of the belief that the ambulances will impact on the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals on health. Barry Coleman is a former Guardian newspaper journalist and co-founder of Riders for Health.
My humble part in this has been to figure out, using logic really, I suppose more than anything else, how to build teams around the business of looking after vehicles in very difficult places all over the place, in fact all over Africa, and I'm sure it'd be useful elsewhere.
Chairperson of the Riders for Health International, Mahadi Lassa, describes the donation as a venture meant to save the nation and its people, which according to her is a priority for Riders for Health.
You can have all doctors, you can have all nurses, all equipment, all medication, you can have all vaccines, but if there's that missing link of transportation, making sure that all these resources get to people. We know that the government always tries to build health centers, hospitals, but that is never enough, we know. We know that those are not able to reach all the people unless you include that link which makes sure that these services get to the people.
Deputy Health Minister of Lesotho, Mata Vincent Foleli, lauded the partnership and cooperation between the NGO and governments.
We are here because of the great relationship these two countries have, and also because we want to learn from the most successful and the best. And Gambia runs a national program reaching every corner of the country, and we know that transport for health is not a problem here.
In addition to the inadequate lack of drugs, as many will claim in Gambian hospitals and health facilities, these ambulances will go a long way in addressing the issue of access to health facilities by Gambians. Reporting for QTV News from the State House in Banjul, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Independent Electoral Commission hereby informs the public that the National Convention Party is suspended with immediate effect from participating in all electoral activities in the Gambia as a political party. This suspension is caused by the fact that the NCP failed to hold one unified party congress but held two different party congresses and has announced two party leaders. This decision is sourced from Section 127 of the Election Act. The release ends. The Secretary General of PDOIS and National Assembly member for Sarakunda has reacted to the testimony of ex-Captain Mamat O. Cham. Here is an excerpt from his response. Having more facts to testify than most Gambians regarding the injustices perpetrated against the people, having languished in Mile 2 prisons at the maximum security wing in both the First and Second Republic, I would want the witness to be recalled to tell the truth. If there is any provision for confrontation between us for the truth to be known, I hereby declare my readiness for the exercise. The Gambia Democratic Congress has issued a press release reacting to the recent seizure of weaponry at the ports allegedly belonging to Gulf Security Company Limited. Here is an excerpt from the release. The leadership of the Gambia Democratic Congress wishes to inform the public that the government of the Gambia made an ill-advised decision to grant a guns importation license to Gulf Security Company. It is the GDC's profound belief that now is not the right time for the issuance of gun importation license, but the issuance of food production, packaging, processing, and importation license for food security. The Gambian people need affordable food items and commodities for survival and not guns. The release ends. Commissioners of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission today visited the Mile 2 State Central Prison in Banjul. The visit was meant for commissioners to have first-hand information on the conditions of the country's main prison. QTV's Ansumana Isonyasi tells us more.
Chairman Dr. Lamin Sise, accompanied by a high-powered delegation of commissioners, the Executive Secretary, investigators and legal team representatives of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, today visited the State Central Prison, Mile 2 in Banjul. The visit is in fulfillment of the Commission's mandate to make strong recommendations that would facilitate institutional reforms in various sectors. It is also part of the Commission's resolve to establish the truth behind some of the alleged human rights violations that took place in Mile 2 during the regime of ex-President Jammeh. The delegation was received by the Director of Prison Services, Ansumana Mane, who took the delegation on a conducted tour of the various cells and facilities at the prison.
Central Prison Mile 2. We have 3 prisons in the Gambia here, and this is the central prisons. And in the central prisons here, we have different units, different sections. We have somewhere called the security wing. We have the main yard, we have the female wing, and we have the remand wing that's over there. So the security wing is the place where these high-risk prisoners are being incarcerated, and the main yard is where those who are already convicted are being placed, and we have a separate place for the female. Also, the remand wing over there is a place where these untried prisoners are being placed. So, in short, this is the location. This is the brief location of the Gambia Prison Service.
Several military officers who testified at the ongoing TRRC proceedings have decried the conditions of prisoners and prison facilities during their time in detention at Mile 2 between July 1994 and November of 1997. Though still visible in a deplorable state, some of the inmates we spoke to say conditions have improved lately. Meanwhile, DG Mane said there are challenges, but efforts are being made to reform the prisons.
But it is our intention to revive the place in order to do it as part of our rehabilitation processes, because you can't keep somebody, an individual here, after staying longer here, he goes without nothing. So that's the purpose of why we will go to that place also, where we have it was a guard room used by the former regime. Previously, soldiers used to be here, but when this new government came, they were asked to go back to their barracks. So the facility was now turned as a training center now. Okay. And definitely, just recently we have graduated almost 43 inmates in that, and it is nationally recognized certificate they were awarded with.
Among the facilities inspected are the various security wings, the main yard, remand wings for both male and female inmates, the prison clinic, the library, kitchen and staff quarters. Meanwhile, the TRRC will resume its proceedings on Monday. Ansumana Isonyasi for QTV News.
Captain Momodo S. Jallo, an army instructor at the Gambia Armed Forces who was recently arrested and detained by military personnel on allegations of misappropriation of funds, has been released on bail. The family members of the soldier have paid the money allegedly misappropriated. The disclosure was made by the spokesperson of the Gambia Armed Forces, Major Lamin K. Sanyang, yesterday while on Q Radio's Drive Time show. Adam and Teddy brothers from the UK on Friday donated an engine truck to the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service at a ceremony held at the Ministry of Interior. The duo drove from Portsmouth via the Sahara Desert to Banjul on the truck, which according to them is a worthy cause. Babukar C. has the rest of the story.
Just a few weeks ago, we reported about the old trucks the fire and rescue services are using in executing their work, with their newest truck manufactured in 2001. The truck donated by Teddy and Adam is not a brand new one, but has almost all the equipment of a fire and rescue truck with 1,800-litre tank fully operational. According to the donors, despite the challenges while journeying to Banjul, giving back to the Gambia is a worthy cause.
We are not a company, we are not an organisation. We are just two best friends who enjoy our company, adventures and travel. A few years ago, Adam came to the Gambia and he experienced firsthand the equipment that you have and the happiness and generosity of your people. And after careful consideration, we decided we wanted to give something back to the Gambia. From a British colony, we have roots here, which is very important to us to work with and to help you develop. But after what Adam saw in the top end of the country, we saw you had a pickup truck with a water bowser and nothing more. And we just wanted to give something that can not help one person, but what can help a community.
Addressing the gathering on behalf of the Minister of Interior, Deputy Permanent Secretary Usman Sise hailed the efforts of the donors for driving thousands of miles to support a vital unit of the security sector.
This engine you are donating today will complement and improve the service delivery of the fire service. I can assure you that the ministry is committed to collaborate with any person or organization that is willing to offer any service or gift to the country. Our role is to facilitate, to ensure that the required service is delivered to the Gambian people. That's our mandate. And in doing that, we have our sister services that implement that mandate on the grassroots, which include the fire service, to ensure that fire is fight, and also there are mechanisms to minimize and to sensitize the public to avoid recurrence of fire disaster. And in that way, I can further assure you that under the management of the chief fire officer and his team, they will take great care of this engine.
The donated truck could not have come at a better time when fire outbreaks within the Greater Banjul area is on the rise. According to officials, donations of such materials will go a long way towards helping them prepare better for emergencies. Babukar C, QTV News.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's recap our main stories. Riders for Health has handed over 10 ambulances to the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The donation was done through President Adama Barrow at the State House in Banjul on Friday morning. The Independent Electoral Commission hereby informs the public that the National Convention Party is suspended with immediate effect from participating in all electoral activities in the Gambia as a political party. The Secretary General of the PDOIS and National Assembly member for Serekunda has reacted to the testimony of ex-Captain Mamat Ocham. That is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us tomorrow, same time for more news. Thanks for watching.